Well, good morning. It is Thursday, the 10th of October, and we are currently on the M50, heading up towards the M5. We've done the A40 from Monmouth, carrying on from yesterday's journey. Yesterday we travelled all the way from the east all the way across to the west, right into Wales and beyond, 250, 260 miles or something. Today, at the moment, we're heading back up to Colville. I said to work we should be in there for about 9 o'clock. We managed to get away a little bit earlier, so I reckon we should be up there about 8:30. We'll see how we go. It's a bit dark and dingy out at the moment. This is what I was saying the other day. You know, the mornings are darker for longer, and the afternoons are drawing in. It's kind of dark by 6ish now. But it's fairly quiet out on the roads this time of morning. We'll try and make haste as well as we can. I'll see you all in a little bit when it gets a bit brighter. It's getting there. I can see the sky starting to get a bit lighter. It's that awkward time of the day that's on its way where it's not quite dark, it's not quite light, and you get the bozos that come out and the dashboard's all lit up like a Christmas tree, but the lights aren't actually on. How many of them will count today. Right, we'll love you and leave you for a little bit, and we'll catch up in a short while. For now. Yes, this is where the M50 meets the M5. Just south of Strenchem Services. At the moment we're still saying 8:30. That might change a bit just as the weather, the traffic gets a bit heavier as we approach the Midlands. Kind of time of day now where folks are on their way to work. There we go, just a mile to Strenchem. As you come out of Strenchem Services and rejoin the M5, if you're going south, you come down, you kind of drop down to that little roundabout where you go straight over to get back on the M5. And the other junction is the M50. Where we've just been, where we've come from. So far so good. Still making good progress. If I was going to go into Strenchem, I'd be staying in the left lane. but we're going to be shooting up the M5, so we come over one lane to the right. Always used to like Strensham services. I quite often used to stay at Strensham, or stop at Strensham when I was doing the Cornish holidays and travelling back up towards Cumbria. I'd either use Strensham or I'd call into Stratford. I've got a really annoying rattle in my door. I cannot find it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. I hate rattles. Drives me nuts. Move over a lane, let Mr. Lorry driver out. You're welcome. Listen, I've been there. Been to their depot. Don't ask me where it is, but I know I've been. "34 miles from Birmingham." Right, we'll catch up in a bit. I do worry sometimes. We've got a red van here, look at it, pickup truck with a Renault Clio in the back, running on trade plates. It's a 7.5 tonner, isn't it? It's probably alright weight wise. Just strange to see a car in the back of a 7.5 tonner. Odd. Here's another one, look, another one on trade plates. I think they're travelling together. He probably had a trailer before, and the pickup was on the back of the trailer with the Clio in the boot. Or the pickup, I don't know. People going about their business. Leave them to it. Starting to get a bit brighter now. Just coming up past the turn off for Droitwich. So he was going slower than me, and now he's just matching my speed. Things that drive you bonkers on the road. What drives you bonkers on the road? Let me know, leave me a comment. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down or whatever you want to do. Leave me comments, be nice. There are kids that watch these videos. We're about 60 miles away from work now. Still saying 8:30. Time now is 7:10. Junction 5 of the M5. We'll be coming off here in about 4 miles. If we can get back over. see how the chest cam works. Bit of a different view. Don't even know if it's straight or not. I don't know if you can see it. There's my Stevie Ange cam Stevie Ange cam mount. Of course, if I move now, you're going to see the steering wheel, isn't it? That just swivels backwards and forwards. I don't know how much I'm bouncing about in here. I'm bouncing about quite a bit, but this camera does have stabilisation. I don't know how effective it's being right now. It's probably just a waste of time like the rest of the mounts. Oh, the stress of mounting these cameras, you've no idea. We'll find something that works eventually. So we haven't got too much further of the M5 to do. We'll branch off shortly. There we go, typical M42. Absolutely chock-a-block. Still moving though. Normally does this time of the morning. It might be a bit slow, but at least it moves. Doesn't hold you back too much. Flashing sign of 60 miles an hour ahead. That'd be nice. We're getting there. Still saying just after 8:30 now, 8:33. So far so good. Traffic's almost behaving itself. Maybe spoke too soon. Hey. All the normal traffic for this time of the morning. I suppose people are commuting into Birmingham, maybe Coventry, heading over towards Leicester maybe. And of course you've got Redditch, Evesham, all them kind of areas. There's a lot of traffic on the road these days. Much more than 20 years or so ago. sometimes the good thing about being this high up when you're driving these trucks is you can see what people are up to in their cars. Always makes the day go by. The amount of people on their phones whilst they're driving, it's scary. You see all kinds of things. Women putting their makeup on, finishing off getting dressed in the morning, having their breakfasts. I've seen people with bowls of cereal. And you know, the odd bag of crisps or an apple or something, fair enough, but a bowl of cereal perched on the knees. I'd end up everywhere if I did that. Ooh, queue, caution, 40 miles an hour. Look like I've got the right lane for a change. Spoke too soon. Now, when I was taught to drive, I was taught about the undertaking rule, which seems to have gone out the window. And I'd never known whether it was just an English unwritten rule or whether it was actual fact. But I was taught the only time you're allowed to undertake somebody is when traffic's congested like it is now. But you still have to take responsibility and keep an eye on the other lanes just to make sure you are safe to creep up the inside. And although it was perfectly okay to undertake in congested traffic was defined as like it is now, barely moving in the other lanes. But now we're all kind of doing the same speed. It's saying we're allowed to do 60 miles an hour, but we're still only doing 40. And whilst we're all doing 40, it was said to me that now it would actually be unsafe to undertake because everybody's now building their speed up. So you should just maintain the flow of the traffic. But everybody seems to interpret the law completely differently. In regards to passing on the left, undertaking, whatever you want to call it. I can remember there used to be signs up on the gantries, like this one coming up here, freight to EU, papers may change 1st of November, please check. I can remember it used to say no undertaking, keep left. Just seems to have gone out the window these days. Everybody's in a rush to get where they want to be. And I know I did look it up not so long ago in the highway code, and there was one part of it that said it's perfectly legal to pass on the left, and there's other bits that said as long as it's congested, and there's other bits that said but if something happens it's your fault, blah de blah de blah. So personally I think it could do with being defined a little bit better than what it is at the moment. Get it sorted out once and for all. So where we've got the road like it is now, if you can see it, we've got the little lines that are closer together on my right hand side. Got a solid line on the left, which means you're not allowed to go over that, and now we've got a solid line on the right, even with the hatch in, so you're not allowed to go in that area. I've got a solid white line on my right, so that means I have to stay in this lane, but the lane next to me has got the smaller markings to their right, so they could actually shoot off and take the M40 if they want to. You see so many stories of drivers that have crossed white lines, or so these ones that are coming up now, where we've got the two solid white lines with the area in the middle, like the chevrons, whatever you call them, but you're not allowed in there, you're not allowed to cross it. And now we've got the smaller white lines, so we can come out into this lane if we want to. Shoulders for junction 4 only, which is your next junction. So if you're continuing on the M42, then you need to be in the lane that we're in. If you're coming off at the next junction, then you can go on the hard shoulder. Smart motorways, you either love them or you hate them. And personally, I don't mind them. It definitely works around this area. Yes, it still gets busy, yes, it still gets congested, but 9 times out of 10 you're able to move, however slow it may be. I can remember before the smart motorway here, you'd sit for ages in traffic jams. They do work when they're managed correctly. But what does frustrate is when you're on a smart motorway and you get one set of signs like these ones at 60, and then you get 100 yards up the road and you've got another set that say 50, then the next ones go back to 60, and then the next ones are 40. It's like, oh, just make your minds up. And there's no reason for it other than they're altering the flow of traffic, which is maybe easing congestion a little bit further ahead. Which you may never see if you're about to leave the motorway. Speed limits on the smart motorways may not be relevant to the actual part of the motorway that you're travelling on at the time. It may be, as I said earlier, just to ease congestion a little bit further along. If you hold the traffic back a little bit, it allows the build-up of traffic to get gone a bit further up. If that makes sense. Oh, itchy nose. So now we've got another one that says we can use the hard shoulder. So we'll come across and use it. The next sign will probably say hard shoulder for the next junction only. There we go. Hard shoulder for junction 5 only. So now we need to move back to this one. So we could have just stayed in this lane. but you kind of follow the instructions from up above. If they say you can use the hard shoulder, then really you should be moving over, following their instructions. If you stay where you are, like everybody in front of us, then it just adds to clogging up the motorways. Smart motorways are very smart, and they really do work if they're managed correctly and if the drivers use them correctly. But of course, in reality, that'll never happen in the month Sundays. Right, leave you to it for a bit. Catch up later. If that's a bit of a better view. Just found the super view setting on the phone. On the camera. So we are 21 miles away from work. Just over half an hour. It's 5 to 8. So we're still on time, still on cue. Might hit a little bit of traffic as we get towards the M1. Hopefully not too much. It's a lovely morning. So there we go, folks. I tried a different camera angle. It's just too low, it's too across that way. Too much like hard work. So I'm going to stick with this mount where it is in the post, and I will use my mag mount from time to time, and when I stop again I'll plug the microphone back in, because at the minute we're just on the GoPro's mic, which I know is a load of rubbish, but it was doing my head in wearing it on my chest. It was kind of up here somewhere. So we're getting there. We're 8.5 miles away from Colville. Still 8:30 when we're going to get there. Time now is 8:10. There might be a bit of traffic to contend with around Colville. Normally is this time of the morning. Had quite a decent run actually. 2 hours and 10 minutes so far. Be about 2.5 hours by the time we get there. Now, I'm not sure where we're actually dropping off yet. It might be work itself, or it might be round on Walker Road. We're on Palletside. We shall see. We have a full load of pallets. Now we're just coming off the A42 and we'll be going on to the A511 towards Colville. traffic lights. This morning. In your face. So here we go again then. We are on the A14, believe it or not. I said in the last video, didn't I? Always on the A14. We're heading over to Great Yarmouth. We've got some fertiliser on. Made it back to Colville. We were in 8:30. Got rid of that load. Went round to Walker Road. Swapped trailers. The trailer I had, that was due a service, so I left it with the guys on Walker Road. Swapped trailers. And then headed out to the A14. I had to have a bit of a break, so I've just had a 45 in a lay-by, and the time now is 12 o'clock, so time's marching on a bit. But we're doing alright. Weather's still been nice today. Just up past Thrapston on the A14, so we've still got quite a way to go. We've got about just under 3 hours to go, 120 miles, something like that. We're off to Origin Fertilisers in Yarmouth. Get rid of this one and then see where we go from there. Just the usual, won't find out until we get there. I'll keep on going for now. So I've had a bit of a debate with the cameras and where to put them, and just to make life easy really, and right from the word go, I've either had the camera facing me or looking out the windscreen. In the Renault and the Volvo, I did have the camera mounted behind me on the bunk, but I haven't got a bunk in here and there's nowhere to mount a camera behind me. I've tried to stick it to the back wall, but it just keeps falling off. So I have tried, and it did look alright, but you know, then you've got the microphone issues, and it just keeps falling off the back wall. There's just nowhere to stick it to. So I'm going to leave it where it is. It's on the pillar between the windscreen and the door, and I can swivel it round so you can see either outside or back towards me. And I know I've had 2 cameras on the go, where I've had one looking out, one back towards me, and I love that. I love the fact you can see outside, I love the fact you can see what I'm doing as well. My laptop, it's fairly new, and it's not a cheap thing. It was, I don't know, 700 quid or something. It's just, it doesn't like doing it. And it takes hours and hours and hours, so I've not got the time at weekends to sit and faff for 6 or 7 hours. I've got to have that time with Tanya and the kids fair enough, and the other stuff that we get up to at the weekend. So I'm going to keep them going as we do now, out the windscreen and back towards me, and that'll probably be it. I might get a chance to stick it outside on the mag mount from time to time, but I've been looking at some other vloggers to see how they do theirs, and a lot of them just do the same as I'm doing. So I shall keep it at that. That's it. Until I get a different truck, or I can stick it outside. That all depends on where I am and what I'm doing and all the rest of it. I do try and move the camera about a bit, but I find myself talking more about the position of the camera than info about the job. And it shouldn't really be that way. It should just be about the job, where I am, what I'm up to, trying to help out those that are coming into the industry or have just joined the industry. I even tried it on my chest this morning, and it's just such a faff that I just can't be bothered to do that. So it works where it is, and where it is where it's going to stay. So that's the end of that one. So there you go. We are on the A14. Lots and lots of mileages to do. 114 to go. What I might do at some point is show you the inside of the truck, because we've not really been through it yet, have we? It's fairly tidy, but it is a working area. Some days, God, I certainly live up to tramping. It's always clean, it's always tidy. Sometimes things just don't get put back where they should be straight away. But that's it, it's a living truck. When you think about it, when you're out in the truck, we're driving these things for 8 or 9 hours a day, sometimes 10, over what could be 15 hours of the day. And then you have a bite to eat, and all you want to do is just go to sleep, so you just kind of fall into the bunk. And then you wake up and start all over again the day later, so it can be quite a challenging job sometimes. It can be very tiring at times. And I do try and reflect as best as I can. And you can probably hear in my voice what kind of state of mind I'm in, whether I'm tired or I've had a good day, or things haven't quite gone according to plan. It's just life on the road. Just got to get on with it. Today's a good day, having a good day. I suppose at some point we maybe have a chat about mental health in this job as well, because that's not always an easy thing. And as mental health, thank God, has kind of taken a bit more of a stance just lately. People are trying to combat it. People are understanding it a lot more these days. Yeah, maybe we'll have a bit of a chin wag about that at some point, and how it affects you with being away all week. But for now, we're going to carry on regardless. I put the last video together. I did a lot of out through the windscreen. We did a time lapse all the way from wherever it was, out on the east coast, all the way across to Wales, up and over the top of London on the M25. And now today we're kind of headed back over to the east again. So lots of miles this week, which I love. That's like to do the miles. I like to do the work, but I like to do the miles. So this week I am kind of in my element. And it's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Let's see what happens on Friday. With a bit of luck, we'll have a good day. Plans for the weekend. Just going to get a bottle of Coke out. Out my fridge. Dry voice again. Plans for this weekend, we've got a bit of a party going on. Not at ours, some friends of ours. That's Saturday, right the way through to Saturday evening. And I've got a couple of PA systems that go out from time to time at weekends, so I'm going to be taking one of them with me. Provided a few tunes for the party. Have a bit of a bop. That's my other page, Steve's PA Hire, Warwick. Have a look if you're into your music and you live in the Midlands and you have the use for a PA system. Come and have a look at the other page. Come on people, get your foot down. Brand new one, that is a Golf, I think so. We think so. It's got a seat cover on it anyway, so I think it's a brand new Golf by the looks of it. There's a car in front. So far today we've done 4 hours and 9 minutes. We've got 2 hours and 40 minutes or so to go over to Yarmouth. It's up to 7 hours driving. By the time we get there, we'll get there about 2:45. By the time that gets unloaded, it will probably be about past. So we're not going to be able to do much more today. We won't have the time to get very far from there. With a bit of luck we'll get a collection done, ready for the morning, and then we'll be looking for somewhere to park up. Easy day ish. Anyway, we'll love you and leave you. We're just coming through the roadworks here now. These are a bit of a pain in the bum sometimes. Just crawl through. But they're doing massive improvements to the A14. Huge improvements. And it'll be fantastic when it's all done. It's just taking its time. This particular bit of road that we're on now, round the bends aren't quite wide enough to get your Arctic and a car side by side on, but the cars always try and squeeze up and past, and they think they're going to get squished against the rail. So if you're a car driver and you're coming this way, just sit at the back of the truck while we go around 3 bends, like this one's doing. They know the score. See that you can barely get two cars side by side. That's it, you see. Get round the bends and then you can go. Why make life hard for yourself? They have been on the go for quite a while, these roadworks. But I think they've still got a couple of years to go. But it'll be good. It'll be good when it's done. Show a bit of a time lapse from the other side of the roundabout.